Treating a woman the right way is not about money. It's not about looks. It's not about flashy words or temporary charm. It's about strength with softness, power with control, leadership with love. A real man doesn't dominate a woman. He understands her. He doesn't silence her, he listens. He doesn't control her, he creates safety. Because when a woman feels safe, respected, and valued, she becomes her most powerful, feminine, loyal, and loving self. And today, I'm going to show you the right way to treat a woman, not the weak way, not the manipulative way, but the strong, grounded, masculine way. Emotional stability is the foundation of how you treat a woman the right way. It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending nothing affects you. It's about control. It's about discipline. It's about choosing your response instead of being ruled by your emotions. When a man reacts with anger, sarcasm, or silence every time he feels challenged, he creates uncertainty, and uncertainty kills trust. A woman needs to know that when tension rises, you won't explode. She needs to feel that your presence brings calm, not chaos. When she expresses frustration, she's not always attacking you. Sometimes she's testing the emotional environment. If you immediately become defensive, you show weakness. But if you listen, stay grounded, and respond thoughtfully, you show strength. Strength is not loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It remains steady under pressure. That steadiness makes her feel secure. Emotional stability also means you don't let small problems control your mood. Bad day at work. Financial stress. Disagreement with a friend. Handle it without bringing emotional turbulence into the relationship. A mature man separates his frustrations from his partner. He communicates clearly instead of shutting down or lashing out. When you master your emotions, she relaxes. When she relaxes, she opens up. She becomes softer, more supportive, more connected. But that only happens when she trusts that you are solid. Your consistency is what builds that trust. Your calmness during storms is what deepens it. Emotional stability isn't optional, it's leadership. And leadership begins with mastering yourself before trying to guide anyone else. Respecting a woman means recognizing her value without lowering your own. It means you see her as an equal human being with thoughts, emotions, ambitions, and boundaries that deserve acknowledgement. But respect is very different from worship. The moment you start placing her above your principles, your purpose, and your self-respect, the dynamic shifts in a dangerous way. Admiration is healthy. Obsession is not. When a man worships a woman, he begins to seek constant approval. He over-explains himself. He tolerates behavior he normally wouldn't accept. He sacrifices his standards just to avoid conflict or rejection. That energy doesn't create attraction. It creates imbalance. A woman may enjoy attention, but she respects strength. And strength comes from a man who knows his worth and refuses to abandon it. Respect looks like listening when she speaks. It looks like honoring her boundaries and expecting yours to be honored as well. It looks like speaking to her with dignity, even during disagreements. But it also means holding her accountable if she crosses lines. A healthy relationship requires mutual standards, not one-sided submission. When you respect yourself, you naturally command respect from her. You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to demand it aggressively. Your actions communicate it. You invest in her, but you don't revolve around her. You appreciate her, but you don't lose your identity trying to impress her. A woman feels safest and most attracted when she stands beside a man who values her deeply, yet remains firmly grounded in his own principles, direction, and self-control. Communication with strength and clarity is one of the most overlooked skills in relationships. Many men either avoid difficult conversations or approach them with aggression. Both are signs of weakness. Avoidance creates distance, and aggression creates damage. Strength is found in calm, direct expression. When something bothers you, say it without raising your voice, without insults, and without emotional chaos. Say it clearly, confidently, and respectfully. A woman pays attention to how you handle uncomfortable moments. If you shut down every time there's tension, she feels alone. If you explode when challenged, she feels unsafe. But when you stay composed and speak with purpose, you show leadership. Leadership in communication means you don't run from problems and you don't attack to win. You address issues to solve them. Clarity removes confusion. Mixed signals create insecurity. If you have standards, communicate them early. If you have expectations, express them calmly. Don't assume she can read your mind. Don't build silent resentment because you were afraid to speak. Resentment grows in silence, but respect grows in honest dialogue. Strong communication also means listening fully before responding, not interrupting, not preparing your defense while she's speaking, actually listening. When she feels heard, she becomes more open to hearing you. That mutual exchange builds emotional connection and trust. Direct communication does not mean harshness. It means precision. It means you choose your words carefully. You stand by them. You don't threaten to leave during every disagreement. You don't use manipulation to gain control. You speak your truth and remain steady, even if the conversation is uncomfortable. That steadiness is what earns long-term respect. Protecting her peace goes far beyond physical protection. It is about creating an emotional environment where she feels secure, valued, and free from unnecessary chaos. A woman's nervous system responds to the atmosphere around her. If your life is filled with drama, unpredictability, and constant conflict, she will never fully relax. But when your presence feels steady and controlled, she begins to soften naturally. Protection means you don't allow disrespect toward her, whether it comes from strangers, friends, or even family. You set boundaries with others when needed. You make it clear through calm action that she is not someone to be spoken down to or treated carelessly. That doesn't require aggression. It requires firmness. A composed, confident man can shut down disrespect with a look, a few words, or a clear boundary. It also means protecting her from emotional confusion. If your intentions are unclear, if your commitment changes depending on your mood, you create anxiety. Consistency is protection. When your words match your actions, when your behavior is predictable in a healthy way, she feels grounded. She doesn't have to question where she stands. Protecting her peace also includes managing your own internal storms. If you bring constant stress home without managing it, you transfer that weight onto her. A mature man processes his challenges responsibly. He communicates what he's facing without making her carry the emotional burden alone. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she expresses her femininity more freely. She becomes supportive, nurturing, and deeply connected. That transformation happens not because she was forced, but because she felt protected in the space you created. Appreciating her femininity means recognizing and valuing the qualities that make her uniquely soft, intuitive, expressive, and nurturing. It's not about putting her in a box or limiting her strength. It's about noticing the energy she brings into your life and acknowledging it with sincerity. When a woman feels truly seen, she naturally gives more of her warmth and affection. But when her efforts go unnoticed, she slowly withdraws. Femininity often shows itself in subtle ways. The way she listens when you're stressed, the way she cares about details, the way she expresses emotion openly. Many men overlook these things because they are focused on grand gestures. But it's the small acknowledgments that matter most. A genuine compliment about her effort, her presence, or the way she supports you carries more weight than expensive gifts given without meaning. Appreciation also means creating space for her emotions instead of dismissing them. When she expresses vulnerability, Don't label it as weakness. When she shares her feelings, don't rush to fix everything immediately. Sometimes she simply wants to feel understood. Respecting her emotional depth strengthens connection rather than weakening it. Desire is another part of appreciation. A woman wants to feel chosen, not convenient. She wants to feel attractive in your eyes, not compared or taken for granted. Express your attraction with confidence and clarity. Make her feel wanted in a way that is respectful and intentional. When appreciation is real and consistent, her feminine energy grows stronger. She becomes more affectionate, more supportive, and more connected because she feels valued, not overlooked or taken for granted. Staying focused on your purpose is one of the most powerful ways to treat a woman correctly. A man without direction becomes emotionally dependent. When his entire world revolves around her, pressure builds. She begins to feel responsible for his happiness, his identity, and his stability. That weight slowly drains attraction. But when a man has goals, discipline, and a clear vision for his life, the dynamic changes completely. Purpose creates structure. It gives you something to wake up for beyond the relationship, whether it's your career, your business, your fitness, your spiritual growth, or your long-term mission. That focus keeps you grounded. It prevents you from becoming needy or overly attached. A woman respects a man who is building something meaningful. She feels secure knowing she stands beside someone who is moving forward. This does not mean you neglect her. It means you maintain balance. You make time for her, but you don't abandon your ambitions. You invest emotionally, but you don't lose your identity. When she sees that you value your growth, she values you more. Your standards rise. Your confidence strengthens. Your leadership becomes natural rather than forced. A driven man also inspires. His energy pushes the relationship upward instead of letting it become stagnant. Growth is attractive. Momentum is attractive. Stability combined with ambition is powerful. When you remain focused on becoming better, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, you create an environment where she feels proud to be with you. Purpose is not selfishness. It is structure. And structure gives the relationship strength instead of dependency. Treating a woman the right way is not about tricks, control, or manipulation. It is about becoming the kind of man who naturally inspires respect, trust, and devotion. When you lead with emotional stability, you create safety. When you respect her without worshiping her, you create balance. When you communicate clearly, you remove confusion. When you protect her peace, you build trust. When you appreciate her femininity, you deepen connection. And when you stay focused on your purpose, you maintain attraction. A woman does not want perfection. She wants strength she can rely on. She wants consistency she can trust. She wants a man who stands firm in his values but moves with compassion. The right way to treat a woman begins with self-mastery. Because when a man controls his emotions, honors his standards, speaks with clarity, protects with intention, appreciates sincerely, and pursues his purpose relentlessly, he doesn't chase love. He earns loyalty. He earns admiration. He earns lasting respect. And that is the foundation of a powerful relationship.